I'm going to talk about one of my favorite concepts for making better decisions, the explore-exploit trade-off. Explore means trying something new, and exploit means doing something that you already have. There's always a trade-off between explore and exploit. Here's an example. Do you go to a restaurant you've never tried before, or do you go to your current favorite restaurant? If I go to my favorite restaurant, I know I'll like it. But if I go to a new restaurant, I could like it even better.
Let's say I've decided to go to my favorite Indian restaurant. Now I have to decide what to order. Another explore-exploit trade-off. Do I get my go-to chicken tikka masala, or do I try something new, say goat biryani? After trying more dishes, maybe I know that as basic as it is, I'll always like chicken tikka masala more than goat biryani. Or maybe I learned that aloo gobi is just as good, if not even better. All this is making me hungry. Let's move on to another example. It's a lively Saturday night in quarantine. Do you watch a movie you know and love, or check out one you've never seen? I personally love the feeling of novelty and suspense, so I watch more things that I haven't seen rather than things that I have. Even if I don't end up liking them, I know them and can understand the broader conversation and memes around them. No matter what you may feel about Twilight or Tiger King, I like knowing what the hell people mean when they're talking about Team Edward or that bitch Carol Baskin. Even something as superficial as a Tiger King meme makes us feel more connected. I like knowing if the Chipino at Soto Mari in San Francisco is overrated. It isn't. Or if the hype surrounding the first Avengers movie is overblown. It is. So far, the examples that we've used, restaurants, dishes, and movies, are pretty low cost. We're only out an average of $20 or 2 hours if we don't end up liking it. But what about exploration that's more costly, like switching your major or changing your career? Should you stay in medical school or move to New York City and try to make it as a comedian? One trick is to see if you can get a lower cost taste of something, a Costco-sized sample, if you will, of the bigger thing. If you're trying to see whether you'd like being a programmer or a welder, do something easier first, like watch a YouTube video on what it's like. See if your friend will talk to their cousin about letting you try out their welding torch. Or message someone on LinkedIn and see if you can get coffee with them or even shout at them for the day. My friends and I have been able to tour lots of companies by doing just that. Another general heuristic is the more time you have, the more you should explore, and the less time you have, the more you should exploit. Let's say you just moved to a new city. You should try as many new places as possible since you have time to explore, and then you can exploit, after you've exhausted all of the options that are likely to be fruitful or enjoyable. But let's say you're moving out of the city in a week. Then you should probably just stick to going to your favorite places one last time. The same goes for our lifespans. Until we have more advanced longevity technology, we should explore more when we're younger and exploit more when we're older. It's unfortunate that most people only have time to explore when they're retired. Hopefully this will change in the future. So in summary, start recognizing the constant trade-off between explore and exploit. Do you jog the same route, or do you try a new one? Do you stay in your current major, or do you switch? For exploration that's more costly, like deciding to stay in medical school or move to New York City and try to make it as a comedian, find a Costco-sized sample to taste. Do a comedy night at your local bar before dropping out and heading to the Big Apple. And finally, the more time you have, the more you should probably explore. The less time you have, the more you should probably exploit. Thanks for watching.